Hey there, it's Sandrina Matto, and I'm here to chime in about this fabulous episode of By Herself with Jessica, a lovely, creative, musical woman who said it was time for her to buy because she didn't want to get left behind. And her desire was strong enough to help her overcome all of the obstacles and objections that she faced when buying her first place on her own. And it doesn't matter what your why is, what the reason is, as long as it's your reason and you feel it strong enough to help you get to the finish line. So let's watch Jessica's clips and then I'll chime in at the end. Overall, how are you feeling about this place?
I think everything in the condo is hit everything on my wish list.
And there is a 24-hour concierge
There is,
here.
yes, I noticed that in the way in. It's good. Security in the building, I feel okay about it.
So looking at this place, it hits the mark in so many ways. Let's talk about the location.
I don't feel the sense of community and closeness. It seems just very barren. I don't know if I'd feel even secure walking around this little area. If I had to go to the grocery store late at night, I don't feel as safe as I do at my home now.
I don't think it's a dangerous location.
It's very artsy. There are a lot of local artists that show their work, a lot of festivals in the area all year long. It's very pedestrian friendly. And it's really a destination for many people from across the city.
To be honest, I've lived in the city for 3 years now and I've never come over here.
If this exact suite was in a different location, would it intrigue you more?
I think it would.
It would either be smaller or more expensive.
If I was a betting man, I'd bet on Jessica giving up some space rather than the location.
I could stand for it to be a little bit smaller, but it depends on where the space is going to come out of.
So we could go more snug?
At the very most, I could probably not have a den.
So the only real negative with this condo is the fact that the bedroom faces a common area.
Everything else works for me, or I can work around, but that's the kind of thing that you can't really fix it. There's no getting around the fact that there's people standing right outside your bedroom door sometimes.
If this unit were on a higher level, would you buy it?
If it was on a higher level and it had its own balcony separated from everything else, then I'd be okay with it.
I've got the perfect place for you, Fort Knox.
It's frustrating having them not understand where I'm coming from in terms of safety and what I want.
You know, Jessica was at a time in her life where she felt unsettled. Her roommate was leaving and she wouldn't have been able to stay in that place by herself. So she thought either I get a new roommate or I move. And you know what? Her hand was kind of forced at that time, which, that happens sometimes when you're renting. But she did feel that it was, as she said, time to grow up and move on. So I'm happy for her that this happened. As they say, every cloud has a silver lining. Now, Jessica's dad was formerly a homicide detective. You can only imagine the kind of lessons that he would have taught his little girl. So she was fully aware, let's just say that. And what she wanted was a secure condo building. And women buying real estate on their own quite often want something secure. You want to feel safe. You don't want to feel nervous in your own home. That's why they look for a place with a concierge. A 24-hour concierge is what makes them feel the most secure. Also, having the security cameras and the emergency button in the underground parking and maybe even in the gyms and other common areas. Also, security fobs, so that you need a fob to get into the building. Now, this is not foolproof, but it's a good start when it comes to security. Jessica was also concerned about her lifestyle. She wanted to play music whenever she wanted to play music without having to bother a roommate. That was really restrictive for her. She also wanted to be able to walk home alone and be close to where she had gigs, or there was a music scene or a creative scene where she liked to hang out. So those are really important things for you to think about. Do you want to be close to where you work? Do you want to be close to where you play? So do you want to be close to family? What is it about the location that intrigues you? Because sometimes we want a place in a location. We think, oh, that's the perfect location, but it is cost prohibitive for us. We just can't afford it. So give me a neighborhood that mimics these qualities. So your job as a buyer is to identify what those qualities are. Now, Jessica said before she even started looking, she felt stressed out. Yeah, I get it. It is a very big deal. That's why it's really important to be ready, which I believe Jessica was, and to understand what your driving force is, what's behind your decision to become a homeowner, because that really has to be a strong desire. And she was able to overcome all of that stress. And as I said, obstacles that could have, made her run off scared and maybe never even try to buy her own place again. So I'm really proud of Jessica. Good for you. It was a big step, a big step for her because she was going to be alone for the first time. She had to make all these decisions, and she had two great people helping her, but they kind of differed on what they saw was best for Jessica. So at the end of the day, Jessica had to make sure that she tapped into whatever she felt was right for herself, and that allowed her to make a choice that made her happy and comfortable. And once you make that decision, the rest is easy. The most difficult time is that period of indecision. That is very, very, very difficult. So once you've analyzed data and you make your decision and you commit to it, the rest is really, really simple. I promise you.